Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Alicia and thank you so much for being here. Happy April 2024. In today's reading vlog for my first read of April, I am reading The Love Code by Susanna Nix. I have never read anything from this author, and this I thought was a new release. It says it just released last month in March of 2024. However, this was originally published in 2017 under a different name. So now it has a new name, a new cover, it was republished. So I'm not sure if the reviews and the star rating on Amazon and Goodreads are a continuation from 2017 to now, or if all of these happened in the last month, because there's almost 8,700 reviews between Goodreads and Amazon, and it's got between a 3.6 and a 4.1 star. So seems as if it's going to be good. It's a STEMinist romantic comedy about what did it say on Amazon? An intelligent, geeky girl and a bad boy billionaire. So we've got Melody. It's also a new adult novel. I believe they are in their early 20s. They've just graduated college. So when they meet, I think they're teenagers. They're like 18 or 19 years old. It's their freshman year of college. And Melody is at a bar waiting for a date, waiting for a guy to meet her. He stands her up. Some creeper starts hitting on her. And then this guy, Jeremy, comes and saves her. And then they get some drinks and then they end up having a one-night stand, even though she realizes they literally have nothing in common. So then fast forward a couple years, they have not talked to each other since that one-night stand. And now she has graduated college. She is interviewed at her dream job and she starts working there. And who shows up to work alongside her? It would be Jeremy. He is the CEO's son. And I guess he has a girlfriend, a bad boy reputation, just all the things that Melody is thinking I need to run away from. But for some reason, she can't seem to stay away from him. He can't seem to stay away from her. I guess they reminisce on what happened a few years ago with their one-night stand, and they end up getting into a relationship. So it's just under 300 pages, and I have no plans today. So I'm thinking maybe I can read this in a day, but let's just see. Okay, so I've just started the book, and the author has a preface with some trigger warnings, which I adore when authors do this, because I just personally don't believe that the reader should have to go digging around on the internet for trigger warnings and content warnings. That makes no sense. I don't want to do more research on the book. I would like to know upfront what I'm getting myself into. And if there's some sort of spoiler, then put it on a separate page and just say, hey, some of these content warnings might be a spoiler. So on the next page, read it or don't read it, and skip along and continue the book or put the book down. So I eat it up when authors do this. So it says, "Dear reader, this book touches on the following topics: infidelity, mental illness, and suicide. I offer this warning so that those who wish to avoid these subjects may make an informed decision about whether or not to proceed with the story. Be good to yourself. Love, Susanna Nix." Thank you, Susanna Nix. Chapter 1 starts, and at the top of the chapter it says 3 years ago. So we know this part is taking place in the past. So she's at a sports bar, so romantic, waiting for her date, who's currently 15 minutes late. Her date is her chemistry lab partner, and she's not really into him, but he asked her out and she thought, oh, I guess I should just say yes. I need to break my routine of my typical Saturday nights. She's either studying in her dorm room on the weekends or working in the computer lab. So she says yes to him. She's texting him in all caps, "Where are you?" Because there is a guy that is hitting on her so hard at the bar. He is so creepy. He's in her face, just no personal space whatsoever. And his breath smells like garlic. And had it not been for the reviews that I read on Amazon, I would have thought that was Jeremy. I would have thought, is this the beginning of their love story? But this is just a creeper guy. It is not Jeremy. Okay, I wanted to come outside and read, but I get so nervous to update on my phone because I'm afraid people are listening or thinking that I'm talking to myself. Also, there's an airplane. But it feels really good out. Sorry, that airplane is just really airplaning. It's about 60 degrees Fahrenheit or 15 degrees Celsius. It feels really nice out here. So I want to stay out here and read and update y'all, but can y'all understand me? Like, can y'all hear me if I'm talking like this? Because I know inside I talk so much louder. I got too scared to stay out on my balcony and update y'all. I got really nervous. Also, it's super humid outside. We've got one dehumidifier going in the bedroom, but we're gonna buy some more to put around the apartment. Melody goes to MIT, Massachusetts Institute of Technology. She is there on a partial scholarship. So when she's not in class or studying, she is working to pay off her portion of tuition that isn't covered. And she has not kissed anyone since the beginning of freshman year during orientation week, when she made out with some drunk guy who didn't remember her as soon as he sobered up. So that is why she agreed to go on this date with her chemistry partner, because now it's the end of freshman year and she's thinking, I need to put myself out there some more. But he stood her up. He's officially not coming. He's texted her and said, sorry, something came up, can't make it. Side note, how is she ordering drinks from the bar if she's a freshman in college? I'm assuming she's 18. This is a new adult novel. So I was thinking maybe early teens into early 20s. If she's a freshman, and the way that it's alluding to, she came to MIT straight out of high school, I believe she's 18. So how is she ordering drinks at the bar? Melody turns around to leave. She's just gonna walk out of the bar. She's still dealing with the creepy guy. And as she turns to leave, she runs into a muscular chest. And when she looks up, this handsome man says, hey babe, sorry I'm late. And then he leans in as if he's gonna kiss her on the cheek, but he whispers in her ear, hey, if you wanna get rid of that guy, play along. And so Melody leans back and says, oh, hey, Boo Bear, where have you been? And then just throws her arms around him and starts hugging him. And then they walk off to the host stand, and then the host leads them to a table and seats them. And so that's how she gets away from Creeper Dude, and that's why she doesn't leave the bar. So this is how she's met Jeremy. So they're sitting there, and she's thinking, I need to buy you a drink. I was leaving. I really was on my way out because I got stood up, but I owe you so much for saving me. Let me get you a drink. So now we're at the start of the one night stand. They're talking and they're drinking. She has a fake ID, by the way. That is how she's drinking. And she's very attracted to him, but she's realizing they literally have nothing in common. Everything that she's bringing up, they do not align. He is actually older. It didn't say his age, but he's been in college for a while. He has failed out of 2 colleges so far, out of Brown and out of Syracuse. And both are colleges that his dad got him into. And she is struggling to be at the top of her class at MIT. She's very smart. And then he is a trust fund baby with an endless bank account, whereas she is struggling to pay for tuition. And then what else did it say? They don't watch the same TV shows. They don't read the same books. Actually, he said he doesn't read books, period. So there's that. And then he doesn't know what he wants to do with his life, but she knows that she wants to be a software developer. She does not care that they don't have anything in common. She does not want the night to end, and she keeps hinting at that she doesn't want it to be over. And so as they're leaving, he starts staring at her all funny, Jeremy. And Melody says, what are you looking at? And he says, I'm just trying to assess how drunk you are. And she says, oh no, I swear I'm not. I'm in my right mind. I've only had 3 beers. And he says, okay, well in that case, do you want to get out of here? And then they go outside and they just start making out like 2 little teenagers on the sidewalk, and she's so into it. Y'all, their chemistry is so cute. I know they have nothing in common, but they go back to her dorm room because he's just in town visiting. He doesn't live in Boston, and he's so sweet to her, and she's like second guessing herself and just thinking she's not going to be good at this because she's only had sex one time, and she tells him that because she's so nervous, and he can tell, and he's asking why, like, what's going on, are you okay, we don't have to do this. It's so sweet. Also, it's closed door, or at least that scene was. It was closed door. You didn't see anything. The next paragraph starts with afterward. So they spend the night together, and then she wakes up to him getting dressed. She hears him fumbling around looking for his clothes, and he just says, look, I am parked at an expired parking meter, and my dad said he's going to disown me if I get any more parking tickets. And so she's saying, look, about last night. And he goes, yeah, about that. I don't know when I'm going to be back in Boston. And she said, no, it's fine. I don't want you to make promises you can't keep. I really enjoyed last night, but we can just keep it at that. They did exchange numbers though. And he just kept saying, if you ever find yourself in LA, give me a call or shoot me a text. And she just keeps saying LA. Yeah, right. Like that's going to happen. But it's so cute. It's so cute. This is precious. And so now we've started the next chapter. It's titled Chapter 4, Present Day. So I guess we really just jumped from them hooking up in her dorm room and him leaving to her graduating college. So here we go. It's so precious. I like this book so far. I like it a lot. So she's got an interview coming up in LA. And it's been 3 years since she saw Jeremy or talked to him. And she's thinking, if I'm going to be in LA, I should hit him up. And then she's thinking, oh my gosh, like what if he doesn't remember me? What if he doesn't know who I am? I mean, what if I'm not even saved in his phone? Well, she calls him and he answers and he says, Melody? And she's thinking, okay, he either remembers me and he's surprised that I'm calling, or I'm saved in his phone, but he doesn't remember me because he's saying my name as if it's a question. And she says, yeah, hey, Jeremy, I don't know if you remember me, but, and then he interrupts her and he says, yeah, I remember you, MIT girl. And then he says, it's been forever. And she said, yeah. So you said if I ever find myself in LA, and he says, oh my gosh, are you in LA? And she said, well, not yet, but I will be in a couple of days. I have a job interview there, and I just wanted to see if you wanted to meet up and get a coffee and see if I could just ask you some questions about living there, you know, like cost of living, if you enjoy it, what there is to do. And he says, yeah, oh my gosh, where's your interview? But she doesn't name the place, because remember, we all know that they're going to end up working together. She just says, oh, my interview's in Glendale. And he says, oh, that's right near where I work. We won't have to fight traffic. And then she says, my interview should be done by 4 p.m. And he says, okay, let's meet at 5 at he named some coffee place. And so they're going to meet up, and it's so precious. I don't know why I'm so into it, because they literally have nothing in common. Nothing about them lines up. But they're so cute with each other. Gentlemen. Jeremy is such a gentleman. They're at the coffee shop and he gets up to go order both of their drinks. She goes to the restroom to freshen up because she walked there. It's hot in California. So she's touching up her makeup, you know, fixing her hair, all the things. She comes back. He's already sitting back at the little table with their drinks, and he stands up and waits for her to sit down. And she notices it because in her dialogue, she's thinking, oh my gosh, he still has manners. I love him. I love him for her. I need them to have things in common. He's so sweet. And she even says it. I forgot men like him existed. Okay, I'm not gonna spoil the book for y'all when it comes to, I mean, I don't know, are there spoilers? We all know they're going to get their happily ever after. They're going to be together. But remember the trigger warnings at the beginning. So Jeremy seems to be going through it. He's having a tough time. 3 years ago, when he met Melody, he left that morning after they had hooked up. He went home, and that week, his dad got diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. And they gave his dad 3 to 6 months to live. And his dad lasted 2 months, and then he passed away. So they're at the coffee shop, they're talking. They have realized that Melody has interviewed at the company that Jeremy works for. His mom is the CEO. She took over when his dad passed away, and Melody knew that because Melody had done her research before going into this interview. And so when he said, oh yeah, Angela Sewer is my mom, because she applied at, what's it called, Seward Houston Aerospace, something like that. And he produces his badge and he says, I guess you didn't know, but my last name was Sewer. And she says, wait, Angela Sewer is your mom? And he said, yeah. And then she goes, wait, so your dad, that was when we met? And he said, yeah, my dad was the CEO. And 3 years ago, right after I met you, is when he got diagnosed. So, oh, it's so sad. So I'm wondering, because what were the trigger warnings? It was suicide, mental illness, and infidelity. I'm thinking that infidelity is going to come from Jeremy cheating on his girlfriend, but right now they're on this little coffee date and he has not mentioned that he has a girlfriend, and he and Melody are just bantering back and forth and it's precious. So maybe that's the infidelity. For some reason, when they started to talk about his mom and dad, I thought, oh, his dad's the one cheating. No, his dad passed away. So the suicide and the mental illness, I'm wondering if that's going to be Jeremy, because he seems to be having a tough time from losing his father. So I just wanted to throw that out there if that is a trigger for y'all. They didn't talk about it for too long in those couple of paragraphs. Now they've changed the subject to the pros and cons of living in LA, but so far that has been mentioned. Okay, I want to smile, but I don't want to smile. So Jeremy, finally, he admits that he has a girlfriend, and he's so nonchalant about it. They've been at the coffee shop for a couple of hours now, and he says, oh my gosh, is that the time? I've got to go. I've got dinner reservations with my girlfriend. And Melody just is so taken aback. And she's thinking literally what I was just thinking in the last clip. Like, why did he wait until right now to tell me? Is that weird? No, it's not weird. But it is, isn't it? Isn't that odd? Like, she's, everything that I just said, she said in that paragraph. And that's what I said in the last clip. So anyways, he admits he has a girlfriend. But then, okay, the part that I don't want to be smiling about, I feel like this book is going to be heavier than I thought. Because I know I just said that I thought the mental illness and the suicide was going to come from Jeremy. Not him committing the act, but him maybe having dark thoughts. Because, you know, his dad passed away and Jeremy seems to be really having a tough time. He's going through it. But then they're leaving the coffee shop and Melody starts thinking that she doesn't even need to get involved with Jeremy. She doesn't need to get involved, especially with a potential coworker. And it's a good thing that he has a girlfriend because she has a lot that she needs to get through. She also has a therapist. And then she starts thinking about her ex-boyfriend. But then she says, is he my ex-boyfriend? Is he my former boyfriend? Is he my late boyfriend? And then how does she word it when she says late boyfriend? She says, oh, that makes him sound like he was tardy instead of ... So now I'm wondering if her former boyfriend possibly committed suicide. And so she's struggling with that. I'm still really into this book, but I feel like it's going to get really heavy. But this is marketed as a new adult romantic comedy. This is some heavy topics. Melody Googled Jeremy, and she said, well, what I found was enlightening. He has, because remember, the back of the book says that he's a bad boy billionaire. He has tons of DUIs. He's been in the tabloids for trashed hotel rooms. He's been seen on camera, I guess, with public intoxication. He's on different gossip sites. He seems to have a sordid past. And a lot of these things have happened in the last 3 years. But it's just funny that she Googled him and then he shows up at her office and he says, hey, a little birdie told me that you started working here, that this is where you are now. Okay, you know when people say, oh, we should get together sometime. I want you to meet, my girlfriend or my boyfriend. Like, we should do dinner. And you just kind of agree to it and say, oh, yeah, sure, knowing that would be so weird and you're never going to go. I've had that happen to me. Well, Jeremy does that to Melody. He says it to her at work. Like, yeah, I want you to meet my girlfriend. We should go to dinner sometime. And she goes, oh, yeah, sure, the three of us. And then a week goes by, and then he text messages her to finalize plans for them to go out that weekend to dinner. So the three of them get to dinner. He's dating this girl named Lacey, and she's so awkward. She doesn't talk. She's just very, I don't even want to say aloof. She's just kind of rude. And Melody's thinking, does she know who I am? Like, this is so weird. Why did he invite me to this dinner with the two of them? Well, then Jeremy says, oh yeah, when the fourth one gets here, we'll have more to talk about. And Melody says the fourth. And he says, oh yeah, when you're going to dinner, it's better to have 4 people instead of 3. It was a very weird reason behind it, like why he said it that way. And then it's his friend Drew, who went to Boston University, which was why Jeremy was in Boston 3 years ago. He was there to visit Drew and then ditched Drew when he met Melody at the bar. So Drew shows up and Drew's like, oh, you're that Melody. Okay. And then Lacey goes, I'm sorry, excuse me. How do y'all know each other? And Jeremy says, I told you how we know each other. And it seems as if he actually didn't tell Lacey how he knows Melody, that they hooked up one time 3 years ago. So the 4 of them were all talking and they're all just going through what happened 3 years ago. And it's so awkward because apparently, and this is so weird, Jeremy used to date Lacey's sister. So I don't know why Lacey is now dating Jeremy. Why would you do that to your sibling? But I guess he used to date Lacey's sister. Her name is Charlotte. And he cheated on Charlotte all the time, including when he went to Boston and slept with Melody. So Melody is really upset about that. She's thinking, I don't cheat, I don't lie, but you cheated and you lied. And I was part of that. You hooked up with me when you were dating somebody. And now you're dating her sister. So I don't know. They didn't get into why he and Charlotte broke up or how he and Lacey became boyfriend and girlfriend, but Melody just leaves. She just says, I gotta get out of here. So she just storms out of the restaurant, this fancy restaurant that apparently takes months and months to get into. You have to make a reservation, but obviously Jeremy knows people because he's a billionaire. And so he chases her out to the valet and he just keeps saying sorry and, I'm not that person anymore, but I was. And Melody says, look, I don't believe you. And I feel like you're still lying because Lacey didn't even know who I was. And I'm sorry, you're just not someone that I want to be friends with. And then Lacey just drives away. So I guess it's about to get awkward at work. I just had some lunch and I'm doing some more reading. I almost said Lacey. What's her name? Melody. Melody hasn't heard from Jeremy, so she storms out of that restaurant on Saturday night and she's anticipating his phone call all day on Sunday to call and apologize. Well, he does not. And then on Monday at work, she's expecting him at some point to show up at her desk because they, I guess, work in different departments. So if they see each other, it's because he is going out of his way to see her. But he doesn't come and find her on Monday. And she's just, whatever about it because she's still mad. Well, her phone rings. And guess who it is that's calling her? It's Lacey. It's Jeremy's girlfriend who was kind of rude at dinner and who also didn't know that Melody and Jeremy have hooked up before. But Lacey calls Melody and invites her to yoga. It's so random. And Melody's just saying, did Jeremy put you up to this? And Lacey says, no. Believe me, he did not, because if he did, I would have never called you. Like, I just wouldn't be doing that. And then she says, Jeremy just says you're new in town and you don't really know anybody. And there's a bunch of us that go to yoga and then we all go get coffee afterwards. So it'd be a great networking opportunity. You could meet some friends if you want, no pressure. And Melody, she's kind of taken aback by it, but she's also thinking, well, that's really nice. So she agrees. Is that not weird to anybody? That's so weird to me. Sorry, both of my cats just jumped on the bed. So I'm just watching them. But I don't know. So now Melody and Jeremy aren't talking, but now Melody is hanging out with his girlfriend, Lacey, and they're going to go to yoga. I am so confused about this newfound friendship. So, sorry, I have to keep clearing my throat in these last 2 clips. They go to yoga, Lacey and Melody, and Melody meets everybody. And it's not a beginner's yoga class, nor an intermediate yoga class. It's advanced. So, of course, everyone can do all the bendy, twisty, pretzel body stuff. And Melody is just struggling. And she just lays there because she just can't even move. So then they leave yoga and they go get coffee with everybody. And Lacey is being so nice. And Melody is even thinking it in her inner monologue, like, wow, she's so different than she was on Saturday or last weekend. She is actually being really cool right now. And then they even agreed to go to yoga again the following weekend. And Lacey's just opening up to her. You know, her mom was a English teacher at some county college, and her dad was in law enforcement, and Lacey wants to go into law enforcement. She wants to go to the police academy, but right now she's a bartender. And her and Melody actually have a lot in common because they came from not a lot of money, whereas Jeremy is a billionaire. He's the heir apparent to this, you know, industry, this aerospace company. And it's just, this is strange. I feel like I'm reading a completely different book now. This book was so good. We were in 5-star territory, and now I'm like, what is this forced friendship that has just appeared out of nowhere? I don't understand what just happened. Also, do you see my cat? It's Minnie Cooper. Okay, so we learned more about one of the trigger warnings about the suicide that took place. And that was really sad. That was a really sad scene. But I think Melody and Jeremy maybe have made up. They sort of reconciled when he saw her crying in her car in the parking garage at work. So now maybe they're friends again. Something is up with Jeremy and Lacey. Their relationship is, I feel like it's not real. I feel like they're pretending for some unknown reason. And there's got to be a reason why Lacey randomly called Melody that one day and invited her to yoga, and now Melody goes to yoga every Saturday, but Lacey just shows up when she shows up. Maybe every other Saturday, every second or third Saturday. Lacey doesn't even go a lot, but Melody's been going every weekend. But I don't know, there's something going on with Jeremy and Lacey's relationship, and I'm curious to find out. They both seem like they have some internal demons that they're battling, so maybe they're battling them together. I don't know, I was gonna say maybe they go to some support group together, but I mean, they know each other because Jeremy used to date Lacey's sister and cheat on her all the time. But I don't know, there's something going on with them. I feel like it's deeper than that because I feel like this book is pretty hard-hitting, even though that's not how it's marketed. But I really like it. I'm really into it. I'm between a 4 and a 5-star. I want to find out more about Lacey's weirdness, sometimes rudeness, and about Lacey and Jeremy's relationship because it's so strange to me. So right now we're in 4 stars because I'm confused and I have a lot of questions, but I'm so curious to see how this book is going to pan out. I love this scene right now because Melody is at the company picnic and she's not a fan. She doesn't want to be there because of insects, sunburns, group activities, portable toilets. But she said that it was made clear to her that the fun was mandatory. She was required to be there. And haven't we all worked for companies where you're like, it's forced fun. You're forced to go. You can't say no. You have to go to the company Christmas party or to the company picnic or whatever it is, the company dinner, the awards dinner, and you're forced to go. You're forced to be there and forced to have fun, and it is just the worst thing ever, and I don't understand why companies do that. Why don't you just give me a raise or maybe pay for my health insurance? Why am I being forced to be here with all of y'all after work hours and once again away from my family? And it just so she's dealing with it in the IT world, and it's funny because we've all had jobs like that. I had 2 different jobs like that from 2 different companies where, yeah, you were forced to go to the fun. Melody is still at the picnic, and, you know, all of the coworkers are forced to be there. So Jeremy's there too. And their mom, or Jeremy's mom, is she's the CEO of the company. So his sister is there too, his little sister. I think she's a teenager. She's 16. Well, Jeremy brings Lacey to the picnic, and Jeremy, Lacey, and Melody walk up to Jeremy's sister, Hannah, and she's, I don't know, doing some spring thing at the picnic. I think she was getting a little glitter tattoo or a henna tattoo. I don't know. She's getting something. And Jeremy walks up, and the sister is really brash, and she looks at Melody and says, "Who are you?" And Jeremy says, "Oh, Hannah, this is Melody, Lacey's friend." And so Melody is thinking in her inner monologue, just like I'm thinking, why did he introduce her as Lacey's friend? Melody was always Jeremy's friend first. She just recently started hanging out with Lacey. I mean, barely. Is that not weird? That's weird. Okay, I guess Jeremy and Lacey's relationship was real. Because they're not together anymore, and Jeremy's really upset about it. I don't know. This book it's really good, but there are just areas that are lacking chemistry. It just seems forced. Melody and Lacey's relationship seems forced, like their friendship. And then Jeremy and Lacey's relationship just seems as if it wasn't even like I really thought there was something more devious going on. Doesn't seem to be. I don't know. The writing is still really good. Did I mention at the beginning of this that there are 6 books in this series? It's called the Chemistry Lessons series, so it's all feminist rom-coms. I mean, I really want to like get on Amazon and just see what the second book is about, but I'm not trying to spoil it for myself because I'm sure it's about maybe someone from their yoga class, but I don't know. But I guess Jeremy and Lacey are no longer together, and their relationship was real. Okay. Another relationship was just revealed, and what is happening with this book? And the way that it's phrased, the way Melody thinks it is all of these attractive people with their complicated romantic entanglements. It's so true. Like, what? I don't know what is happening. This book is not completely about Melody and Jeremy. I mean, I really feel like the last 30 pages turned into women's fiction. It was just Melody living her life with no Jeremy. Okay. And now something else is happening, and this book is going a lot of ways. It's definitely not anything like it was marketed. This is more at this point, and am I halfway through? I'm on page 142, and it's 280 something pages. It's a quick book, so I'm about halfway through. This is more of a new adult coming of age comedy, maybe. I don't know. It's not that funny. I don't know if I would call it a romantic comedy. A new adult coming of age slice of life novel. Oh my gosh, Melody is getting a tour right now of Jeremy's house, and there's a library in it. Oh my gosh, it has a fireplace and floor-to-ceiling bookshelves, with every subject matter ever, and leather chase lounges, and just, she's talking about how ornate it is, and there's even a ladder. There's a library ladder. Or a bookshelf ladder. I want to call it a library ladder, but oh my goodness. I want that. Y'all, there are so many characters in this book, and I didn't update y'all on the first relationship, but I know I said, a second relationship has just unfolded itself. Well, now a third relationship has just come out. These are all different people. These 3 relationships, these are 6 people, and it's like I'm reading reality show fiction or something. I mean, I'm into it. I'm still into it, but what is going on right now? I think we're about to get some fake dating going on. Melody's mom is in town. I think Melody's from Florida. Yeah, I think I get Florida and Boston mixed up. She went to college in Boston. She's from Florida. So her mom has flown to California to visit, and her mom is not kind when it comes to Melody's dating life. Melody is 22 years old, and that has been confirmed. She's 22. Well, she had a birthday. She turned 23, and she's still single, and who cares? I'm 37. I literally just got married for the first time last year. Our 1-year anniversary is not until July. And we met in December the year before that. So you can meet someone later in life too. It's fine. But I think we're about to get some fake dating. Her and Jeremy. Melody just blurted it out and said, Mom, I have a boyfriend. Because her mom keeps talking about Christian mingle because someone where she works met a chiropractor and is marrying him. And so Melody's just like, I'm not Christian, Mom. And so her mom just keeps saying, well, dating apps in general, they're not all for losers. Oh my gosh, you awful, terrible person. But she just busts out with, I have a boyfriend. And then she goes into her bathroom and shuts the door and calls Jeremy and says, please tell me you don't have plans tomorrow night. And Jeremy says, I mean, I don't have any plans that could be changed, which made it seem like he was not available. But then she said, please come to dinner with my mom and I. And he said, as your friend or as your boyfriend? And she said, the latter. And he said, just be ready by 7 p.m. Oh, I'm so excited right now. Okay, I'm in my kitchen making some tea right now, so you can probably hear the kettle going. But Jeremy showed up to Melody's apartment where Melody and her mom are, and he brought 2 bouquets of pink roses. And then he kissed Melody and said, hey, babe. And then Mom just comes running down the hallway. Is that him? Is that him? And then she pulls out her phone and just starts taking photos of them. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. I'm so excited for this scene. I know I'm over the halfway point. I still have a chunk left, maybe 100 pages. What am I on? 173. Yeah, I'm about 110, 111 pages. Also, does anyone else drink tea? My sister got me this. Best mug ever. And look how stained it is. I have been using this every day, multiple times a day, and I wash it. It is so stained. Anyways, I'm gonna pour some tea. This is such a parent thing to do. Melody's mom, they're back at the apartment, dinner is over, and Melody's mom said, I'll let you two say your goodnights. I'll just go inside. So Melody and Jeremy are standing outside of her apartment, I guess in the hallway, and her mom is watching them through the blinds. Oh my gosh. And Jeremy even said, he's like, I can see your mom in the blinds peeking through. Hello, it is the next day. I actually didn't read any more last night. I was making my hot tea and then my husband came home, so we spent the evening together and I didn't get any more reading done. But I am meeting up with my friends in about an hour. We're gonna go to Kamakura and hopefully see some sakuras. The pretty pink flowers should be out for spring. Also, it's such a rainy week. The 10-day forecast, it's raining 7 out of the 10 days. But anyways, I have about an hour to read. So they're on their little, I was gonna say fake date. Yeah, I guess they're kind of fake dating. So Melody and her mom are with Jeremy. They're at some restaurant. So then they get home, and I think that's where I last updated y'all, was mom went inside the apartment. She told Melody, I'll just leave y'all out here so y'all can say your goodnight to each other. And then she's watching them from the blinds, and Jeremy mentions it. He says, oh, she was watching us. And Melody just rolls her eyes, and Jeremy says, we should just give her a show. We should give her a good show. And then he starts kissing her, and they start making out real sensually. And it's reminding Melody of when they made out 3 years ago on the sidewalk outside of that bar. And he is seeming to be super into it too. We only have her point of view, but oh my gosh. And then he leaves her. He just says good night, and the scene ends. So let's keep reading. I've got 100 pages left, 110 pages left. So let's see what I can get done before my friends come and pick me up. This is something that I didn't even think about, but now that Melody is friends with Lacey, and Lacey used to date Jeremy, they're broken up now. And I don't know how long they dated, but I feel like they dated for a while. And now that Melody is friends with her, Lacey has called her the next morning to ask how it went, because it was Lacey's idea, like, hey, you should ask Jeremy to be your fake date. And Melody is thinking in her head, I need to tell Lacey that I made out with her ex-boyfriend. I didn't even think this would be, now we've come into a conundrum, because now Melody is friends with Lacey, and Melody has the hots for Jeremy and wants to be with him and is slowly falling for him. But since she's like basically buddy BFFs with Lacey, now we've got that looming over her, or over us, because I'm reading it too. about Melody telling Lacey, hey, I'm so into your ex-boyfriend. I didn't even think we were going to come into this drama. Okay, so something happened. I've read about, I don't know, I think 50 more pages since I last checked in. I'm on page 226. I don't want to spoil. This isn't even anything to spoil. It's just something that happened when someone, a female, was walking alone at night to her car after getting food. Maybe you can guess where I'm going with this. It's not, you think when it's happening, it's going to be something worse. I mean, it's still bad what happened, but the R word, if you're thinking of a 4-letter word that starts with R, which is where I thought this was going, and I can't read. I can't read about that. I don't even like to hear or read flashbacks about that. Definitely nothing on page, but that does not happen. So if you get to that scene, just know that that's not going to happen. I don't know. That's all I'll say. But yeah, that's where we're at so far. I'm so close to being done with this book. I'm on page 248, and I think there's 284 pages or something. I know it's under 300. I think it's in the 280s. So I'm super close to being done. I don't have a lot of updates to give y'all. I feel like all of yesterday when I read 175 pages, I had so much to tell y'all, and now I don't know, my girlfriends are on their way to get me. One just picked up the other, and now they're both on their way here, and so I'm probably not going to get much more reading done because they'll be here soon, and I'm not going to update y'all when they get here. But they've done a little bit more fake dating. Melody told her mom that they broke up because she was tired of her mom constantly asking about her and Jeremy, because Melody is so in love with him. She loves him so much and wants to be with him. So she was crying on the phone with her mom and just said that they broke up because they're all wrong for each other and have nothing in common. And he's the rich boy, she's the poor girl. They come from different backgrounds. Well, then Jeremy needed a date to an event, and so, you know, that was a couple weeks later. So they went to that. And then a few weeks goes by. They barely talk. Then he shows up at her office again. He needs her to be his date to another event. And Melody tells him, okay, this is the last one. Like, I can't keep pretending to be your girlfriend, because Jeremy is also needing her to fake date him. And she even said, I can't believe you haven't fake broken up with me yet. I already told my mom that we're no longer together. And he just kept, rubbing his temples and rubbing his forehead and saying, this will be the last time. So they're at that event at the moment, and she's so smitten by him. But I can't tell how he feels. I don't know. The way that the book is written, I want to say this is a romance story, but it's like slightly become women's fiction. It's like a Sophie Kinsella book, or Madeline Wickham. That's Sophie Kinsella is her pen name. But I don't know. I still really like the book. I really like it. This is still currently a 4-star. We never jumped back into it was a 5-star in the beginning, and then it sort of just took a turn. I still don't understand Lacey and Melody's relationship. It happened so forcefully, but I don't know. It's still a really good book. I'm still really into it. But if you're not really into women's fiction, that's kind of what this book becomes. I don't know, but I still really like it. For me, it's a 4-star. For you, it might start off as a 5-star and then become a 3-star. I don't know. But I only have a little bit left, so I know they're going to get together soon, but I'm probably not going to finish it today because we're about to go out. And by the time I get home, my husband will probably be off work, and so we're going to have dinner together and probably watch a movie or something. I'm going to spend some quality time with my husband. But I just wanted to fill y'all in on this, and more than likely I will see you tomorrow. Bye. Okay, my friends just got here, so I'm putting the book up. I read a little bit more. I read to page 256, and I guess they're finally, she admitted her feelings to him, he admitted them back. But you know what I'm wondering? We're 30 pages away from ending, and they're just now getting together. So there's no way there's going to be a third act conflict or like the 80% breakup, because we're way past that part. But my question is, in the next 30 pages, are they going to get together and then have some stupid breakup and then get back together? I really hope not. Okay, well, I'll check in with y'all tomorrow. Hey guys, I am back from lunch. It's so rainy out today, but I finished The Love Code. Y'all, this book was so cute. I'm giving it 4 stars. I can't wait to start the second book. There are 6 books in this series, and they are all complete standalones. They are about couples that you don't meet in previous books, but this was precious. I think I'm going to title this video as it being a new adult romance, but just know that if you go to read this, there is a sprinkling of some women's fiction in there, and it's only one POV. You only get Melody's side, you don't get Jeremy's, but this was so cute. There was also no third act breakup or 95% breakup. None of that. They get together, they stay together. But I love this book. Thank y'all so much for coming along on this journey with me, and I will see y'all in the next vlog. Bye.